Today's show brought to you in part by GoToMeeting. For a free 30-day trial, use code podcast at gotomeeting.com.
We all search the internet every day for any little thing we might need. Come learn more about that on Tales from the Road next.
Hey, welcome to Tales from the Road, hosted by Dr. Jill Wendy.
Hi.
Not known as Dr. Google.
Not known as Dr. Google. No. We'll talk about Dr. Google, my good buddy and colleague.
Yeah, exactly. Our lives are so tied up with the internet as
absolutely.
a source of information, and that's kind of the first place that you turn.
Absolutely.
From the standpoint of an active RVer,
Yes.
is that a good place to turn for information on caring for pets on the road? Not so
yes.
much?
And no.
Okay. Tell us about how that works.
Well, we do. I mean, I went in and Google searched 3 or 4 things already this morning, while we were waiting to do, to film this episode. We were looking at some things, but, and there are some things that are great to do that with. And there are some things that you need more guidance, and you need to be an educated Googler when you're looking at those, and know the limitations of what it is that you're searching. So let's talk veterinary medicine on the web. You need to find a good hospital while you're on the road. Yes, Google them. If you want to find out, what are some of the weird things that I might need to watch out for because I'm in a part of the country I don't normally live, what do I need to worry about for my pets? Yeah, absolutely. All that kind of stuff. The thing I would really caution you against doing, though, is playing match the picture, match the symptoms list, and try to come up with your own diagnosis.
But it looks just like what's on his belly.
Like that.
Yes, it looks just like that,
Yeah.
and he's been kind of listless, and he just doesn't look like he feels well.
Right. So
How's
it
that
must be
for a diagnosis?
there. Yeah. And actually, it's this really fun thing they do at some of the conferences that we attend to. So dermatology, when we're talking about play match the picture. So dermatology, they'll put up like 16 photographs of just skin lesions. And then they'll have a list, and a lot of them look the same, and then they'll have a list of 16 diseases on the side. And then you play match picture. Based on the picture, what do you think it is? And nobody ever gets them all right.
Yeah. And these are veterinary professionals
that are doing
at
a veterinary
this.
conference. And so you can't play match the picture because there's more to a physical exam, there's more to getting to a diagnosis than just looking at that a lot.
So a lot of it draws on your experience. I won't use the phrase hunch, but it's like you're integrating a whole lot of things that you observe at that
It's
animal.
integrated, and we talked in our wellness exam episode about you need 6 senses. You need all 5 of your physical senses and the expertise and learning and knowledge that you have of veterinary medicine as your 6th sense to put that all together into a complete picture to come up with your issue. So so it's really, really difficult. Now, it's a great place to look for more information, satisfy curiosity, communicate with people who have the same passion you do. I mean, all of us belong, subscribe to a blog or go into a chat room or get on a forum or whatever. And, that's how we communicate with a lot of people who have our same interests. The thing you just have to be careful of is when you're doing a Dr. Google search and you're in a forum, is that the people that are in that forum are just people like you. And so you're all just kind of having these personal, sample size of one kind of experiences and things that you've heard and rumors that you found and that kind of stuff and sharing that. And it is a really, really great fact blender and not a really, really good fact sorter or fact checker.
And people could be very, very legitimately presenting their experience. They just happen to live in North Dakota.
Yeah,
as opposed to Florida, which may have a different environment for pets.
And people will say things in a forum and on the internet, and we all know this, that they would never say in public face-to-face to a person. And so, I mean, all of that stuff has to be taken into consideration when you're looking at that.
Right. Well, we will be back in a little bit to look at some red flags.
And some green ones.
Hey, Gabe, wanna go for a walk? Gabe? Gabe?
buddy, you lost? Hold on.
If your pet is the adventuresome type, be sure he's connected to PetHub. A quick scan using any smartphone shares your pet's vital information so that even his wildest escapades have a happy ending. PetHub, reuniting pets with their families.
Come on, Gabe, let's go home.
Jill, we were talking about some of the dangers of, I guess you would say, blindly accepting information that you would find
that's really
on the internet. And what are some red flags, some things that you would, from a professional veterinarian standpoint, just kind of say, okay, we know where this belongs, and it's the round trash bin right at the bottom of your
Get in the recycle bin in the corner of the screen. Yeah.
Yes.
So, like I said, and there are a lot of good things, and I don't think there's any one site that is complete kibosh, and there's not one site that's completely flawless. But there are some things that you need to, that should put up your red flag and go, maybe I need to take this with a grain or more of salt. So a couple of things, sensationalism and drama. If there is a lot of sensationalism and extreme claims and best kept secrets and
small child, lost puppy, these should be warnings, right?
Well, no, I mean, those kinds of things, these would be things like, you're killing your dog if you feed them this. Don't ever use that vaccine because it will kill your dog. You know, cats sneeze, you know, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, there's a lot of, I guess I would say if it's got more of an alarmist tone
amazing cure.
Or if it cures
not available,
everything.
Not available.
Yeah, best kept secret,
time,
you know, things your doctor doesn't want you to know. I mean, all this kind of stuff. So I would be really cautious with those kinds of sites. Also, especially when searching for products, medication, supplements, those kinds of things. That's a whole nother series of episodes actually. But the pros and cons of all of that good stuff.
What about training devices, collars
all that,
and
products,
electric shock and
all
of
these
things? Yeah.
If you have a site that is based off of testimonials and not based off of fact or research or actual study, you need to be aware of that as well. Because that is a concern. And we also need to worry when a forum is the basis of the site. Again, communities are fantastic. We love communities. We share our common interests. But if that's where you're going to get your scientific medical information, that's not a good source, because these are lay people and who may have some experience and some knowledge, but have not been trained in how to dissect through all that.
What are some examples of good sites?
Yes.
Sites that generally...
The green flags.
The green flags, yeah.
Yeah. So these are going to have credentialed authors. They are, and by credentialed I mean has a DVM, an RVT, has gone through and is a licensed veterinarian. And we also have to make sure they're credentialed in veterinary medicine. There are some sites that you'll go into and she has a PhD, but it's in art history. And that's not the person who should be writing a veterinary medical site.
She may have strong opinions.
Yes.
And she may love her pets.
But she's not the one that you should go for expert advice.
Yeah.
They need to be based in fact. Testimonials are really cool to put in for flavor, but they need to be based in fact. They need to have some study and research behind them. They need to be, preferably have some sort of accredited organization there. So it's not just, Simone's Labradoodles, it's the American Animal Hospital Association, or it's the ASPCA, or somebody who has a legitimate base in veterinary medicine. And always, no matter whether it's a forum or a community or you're actually looking for scientific information, it needs to have a balanced approach. You need to be very, very careful of never, ever, and always, and those. There are very, very few blanket statements that include never, ever, and always in veterinary medicine.
Yeah, exactly.
So
well, we're certainly going to have links for this in the show notes for this episode.
Yes,
A couple
for
of
some
other
places
things
that are good.
A couple of other things we might mention. Of course, Pinterest.
Yes.
You have a Pinterest board at RVNN associated with that. We also are on Google+.
Yes.
You can follow us on Facebook and on Twitter.
Yes.
And lots of good ways to keep in touch. But
Absolutely.
you were saying that maybe if somebody would want to send you an email.
I would love for them to send me an email. Shoot me a post on Facebook. tweet it. I don't care. Send me smoke signals. I don't care. But call in if you have a question, if you have an idea for an episode for us, if there's some burning thing that you've always wanted to know, let me know, because I want to make sure that we make episodes that pertain to what you want.
Okay, Jill, thanks very much for joining us again today, and thank you for joining us on Tales from the Road.